Hello, everyone. To say that we live in uncertain times would be an understatement. Those of us working and living in the West, people like me who had migrated to US, UK, Canada, and the Western societies, some of the tech workers are rethinking their priorities in the recent times, primarily because of the changing immigration laws, the immigration climate. Those of us in the US, of course, know what's happening, right? The Trump administration has come in and is going pretty heavy on immigration. Some of it is going to lead to good immigration reform, but this uncertainty is going to weigh in on all of us who are living and working in the West. So I thought I'll spend a few minutes sharing some of the Q&A that I'm getting from colleagues, from friends, and even viewers of this channel about life in India, return to India, and more specifically, returning and working back in India. So the first question is around what are the kind of opportunities in India. So a few years ago, when I decided to move back to India, I networked with friends, tried to understand the local market here, and looked at a few key opportunities. If you look at the landscape here, the key opportunities, startup is booming. There's a whole network of startups in India. So if you're into development and startup or have a great idea, you can either think of doing your own venture, starting up your own venture, or investing in a startup that you can maybe shepherd or bring your skills into. So that's one opportunity. The other opportunity along those lines is to maybe consider if you're into development, bring in a piece of development. So essentially, support services as a startup. A few of my friends have done it. They work for multinationals in the US and had a network in their development teams and said, I will take up this project. I will hire a team back in India and deliver these solutions for you. So that's another option. And the most seamless option I would recommend if you're seriously considering moving back to India and you're already working for a large tech company or a multinational is to seek an internal job transfer. If you can seek an internal job transfer, because multinationals are setting up GCCs, Global Competency Centers in India. So you're likely to find a slot here if you network hard and deep within your organization because you're a known commodity. You can network with your peers, your bosses, your colleagues, and seek opportunities. And likewise, if you work for a large tech company, they probably have development centers in India. So you can seek a job transfer, a job change back to Indian location. Or in an ideal world, if you are an individual contributor and your manager and your bosses are willing to let you work remotely, why not? Take up that opportunity, pack your bags, pack your laptop, come back, work remotely from India, and then see how things evolve and then find a switch. Now, if none of these work for you, you need to really network very hard because the opportunities are there, but most of the opportunities at the mid senior level for IT professionals, for tech professionals, or people in the business services are going to open up from the networks that you have. So that's how you are going to land a job. Now, the other question that some youngsters ask is, see, you have spent all your time, resources, and energy going to the US or UK, Australia to study. And after studying, you decide, yes, that's not your cup of tea to settle there, wait in a long queue for immigration. Or the fact that your student visa is not going to convert into a work visa, want to come back. And some of them are wondering, how valuable is my US education or my degree from a top university in UK or Australia or elsewhere? Those degrees are valued, but not in the kind of way you think. Because if you look at the education system in India is also pretty advanced, especially in the technology space. You have people from IIMs, IITs, and top universities, even in India, eager to work for multinationals. So you'll be competing with the cream of the cream, even with your degree. So have that perspective and make sure you network in the right way with the right peers and then find an opportunity. Now, the other question that comes up is in terms of work, are there any paperwork restrictions for, say, NRIs or more specifically OCIs, overseas citizens, to come back to India and work? No, there's absolutely no restriction, right? I'm an OCI. I got my OCI several years ago. And then when I decided to move back to India, I already had a PAN card. So the first thing I did after moving back was to get an Aadhaar. An Aadhaar and a PAN card are the essential documents for you to live and work in India. Along with your OCI, of course, you should keep that valid. Once you have these two, tied to a local bank account, and then once you start working, you get on a payroll. Your payroll gets into your bank account. So it's pretty seamless as that. And if you have conversation with the hiring manager or HR representative, an OCI is a known commodity. If not, you just explain to them that you are an overseas citizen of India. So there's no restrictions from that standpoint. Now, bank account. Are there any restrictions? Say you might have an NRE, NRO bank account. So once you move back to India, you're going, after about 6 months here, you're going to become a tax resident of India. So you need a regular resident account. So convert your account into that and you should be good to go. Now, the other question is, how easy is it to land a job in India once you move back? It is going to be a challenge. I'll not sugarcoat it, but it is not an unsurmountable challenge because my experience shows after moving back to India, it took me a while. I landed a good job at a multinational. And after that, after a year of working for that company, I switched again. So it is possible, but the key is to network. Have the right skills, put your best foot forward, and showcase your skills to the hiring managers. Networking, networking, networking. That's what is going to get you there. Is what are the kind of job opportunities? So, say for a mid-level career professional, maybe an individual contributor, or a team lead, or a manager, or a sales rep working for a multinational company, or a business processor, subject matter expert. So there is a whole gamut of opportunities even back in India, either in the GCCs, Global Competency Centers for multinationals, or in service-based companies. So it is for you to find that right slot based on your skills, your experience, and what you bring to the table. Once you do that, the world is your oyster. The opportunities are there. It is for you to get in, network in the right way, seize those opportunities. So if there are other questions along these lines that I have not answered about living and working in India or moving back to India for NRIs, feel free to message me or post a comment, and then I'll see you back in another video. Thank you.